Mr. Peter Petro.
Hello guys, so the long-awaited day for the Pastor Ezekiel follower is finally here, and oh my goodness, like I must confess, like oh my goodness, this pastor is really loved by his followers. Many people, honestly, many people in the comment section, because I was watching the online stream, and the comment section was full of hatred. Oh my goodness, wow. Some people are calling it like he has brainwashed people. Some people are saying that maybe they are in cult. Some people are saying that they are worshiping him. But honestly, I call this love. Honestly, I call this love, because if we can say it was kind of brainwashing, honestly, if there is a man who is known to brainwash Kenyans, was Pastor Mackenzie. And honestly, we didn't see such a follow-up in his case. And I must say, like, I was overwhelmed by the love for their pastor. And honestly, some pastors in Kenya, I think they should learn from Pastor Ezekiel. I don't know what he gives his followers, honestly, because they are so staunch. Like those people, even when it was raining heavily, like they were just there praying. And it reached a point when I was just watching it, I just crossed my fingers and I was like, oh my goodness, what if the ruling comes out something negative? And these people, the way they are just praying to God. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not a follower of this pastor, but just God, do something so that your name should not be ashamed. Sababu watu wakiona Pastor Ezekiel pengine hajatoka, some people will say that the prayers of those people who are making their prayers outside the court, maybe hazikuwa zinafika kwa Mungu or something. And honestly, it was overwhelming. And I don't know what this pastor gave to his followers, because honestly, that was a big love. Honestly, that's big love. And I don't know, like I don't want to say that each and every person who was there at like lazima alikuwa amefanyiwa miujiza. You know, in the previous videos that were circulating, tumekuwa tukiona watu wakisema, oh, like as for me, nilienda kwa past church yake, I was HIV positive, and now I'm HIV negative. Someone says like I had cancer and now I'm healed. I believe everyone who was there walikuwa anaomba hapo hivyo nje, hawakuwa wamefanyiwa miujiza. Si like hata kama kulikuwa na wenye wamefanyiwa miujiza, I believe like it's not the 100% people. So meaning there is still that some percentage of people wenye walikuwa hapo hivyo for a genuine love, honestly. And that, like, I salute them. Honestly, I salute them. But at the same time, when I was watching it ilinigonga kwa kichwa sana, because many people are saying that the pastor has brainwashed his followers. Some people are saying that they are kind of worshiping him. And I was like, maybe some of them, because maybe some of them, honestly, they are there because pastor prays and things happen. Yeah, I believe some of them are like that, but honestly, I don't want to say that all of them are brainwashed. But I believe there is a percentage of people who maybe were there because they believe in his miracles. They believe in that he prays and some things do happen. And as I was watching, nikajiuliza, honestly, like, as Christians, we call ourselves God's children. I believe I'm a daughter of God, and I believe you are the child of God also. And I wonder, like, if I'm a child of God, then God is my dad. Then why do I need someone else to talk to my dad, like as an intermediator? Because if God is my dad, then I can go to God like any time of the day. Any need that I have, I can present it to God each and any moment that I want. And it hit me that most of the people, maybe, I'm not sure, most of the people not only for Pastor Ezekiel, but also for some other churches. I think they believe so much in their pastors to an extent that they forget that there is a big picture, which is God. And sorry guys, I think you're going to forgive my voice. Niko na kahoma fulani kiasi hapo hivyo. On weekend nilienda kutafuta homa and honestly nipata proper. And I was just taking my water and I think I would make my concoction hapa nikunywe. Natengeneza concoction fulani hapa hivi nikunywe. As we continue to speak. So guys, I don't know what's your view concerning this whole issue about Pastor Ezekiel and his followers. Like, do you really believe that these people, all the whole people who, the whole congregation, when you walikuwa hapo hivyo, they were genuinely there because of they believe in the pastor, or they believe in his miracles, or rather they believe in the God that Pastor Ezekiel served? Because as for me, I think I had a mixed reaction. Like, I felt like some people genuinely trust in God that Pastor Ezekiel serves, and some people also trust in his miracles so much, such to an extent that they forget there is a big picture who is God. And that's sad, honestly, that's sad. And I don't want to dwell in that so much, because najua hata hapa hivi kuna wafuasi wa Pastor Ezekiel, and I don't want them to come for me, honestly. But the truth to be told, these things are happening not only with Pastor Ezekiel, also with akina Pastor Mackenzie. That's why it was even very easy for someone like Pastor Mackenzie to kusikiza watu ati, oh, you know, God is coming, and then ati Jesus is coming, and so you are supposed to do kwenda mjifunge mkitaka kupatana naye one on one. I think that's why it was so easy for such a person like Pastor Mackenzie to convince his followers, sababu kuna watu wengi, like so many Christians, so many people call themselves Christians, and they call themselves children of God, but honestly they don't like they call themselves the children of God, but at the same time it's like the name children of God is something that does not click in their head. Because if I am a child of God, then I really don't need an intermediator for me to speak to God. Because if God is my dad, if God is my dad, then honestly, if I believe God can do a miracle, I don't need a Pastor Mackenzie to come and convince me that Mungu anafanyanga miujiza na atanifanyia miujiza. Like, I don't need an intermediary. And I think that's what is making many Kenyans, honestly, that's what makes making many Kenyans to, sorry. I think that's what's making many Kenyans to lose their focus. Okay, many Christians. Because many Christians are trusting on their pastors. And they are trusting so much to an extent that they forget that this is not the person that they should trust. Because honestly, kuna prophets wa uongo. And there are some pastors who are true. I don't know whose pastor is true. I don't want to say Pastor Ezekiel is true, Pastor Mackenzie is wrong. Like, Pastor, I don't want to take any side, because honestly, me see Mungu. I'm not here to judge, honestly. But I think there is one thing that Christians should be taught, honestly. I think there is one thing that Christians should be taught. And they should be taught to, despite the fact that these pastors, honestly, maybe some of them are praying, and then things are happening, miracles are happening. I think there is one thing that they should learn to teach Christians. They should learn to teach Christians that the fact that they themselves, they can also pray to God directly. Like, if I am a pastor, I don't have to teach you that, bring all your problems unto me, and then I'll pray for you to God, and then God will do something for you. As a pastor, I'm also supposed to teach my Christians, my children, my servants, that they can also themselves, they can also speak to God, the same God that I'm praying. They can also speak to the same God, and God afanye miujiza zenye the same thing yenye naombanga anafanya. Because that's what is making many Christians to be astray. Sababu honestly, any church, ukisikia any church in Kenya yenye kuna kwanga na pastor anafanya miujiza, any church yenye kuna kwanga na pasi mwenye anafanya miujiza, like anajulikana ati akiomba given Sorry guys, my voice iko low kiasi. That's why I'm taking this concussion. And I believe everything will be well. I don't know kama hii homa imefika huko kwenyu. Sababu mimi nimekuwa na homa like for a while now, imekataa kusikia hizo madawa zote. I think nataka nikae kama Pastor Mackenzie, nifanye Pastor Mackenzie, niachane na madrugs. Anyway guys, back to our main topic. I think it's high time pastors in Kenya to learn to teach their followers the true gospel. Like, they should learn to teach them on how to speak to God directly. Like, you don't have to come to me so that I can speak to God on your behalf. Like, you can also pray to God, the same God that I'm praying, and the same God can do some miracles for you. Sababu each and every church, like mention them, church yote unajuanga kubwa Kenya, any church, actually any big churches zenye inafuatangwa na many Christians, mostly in Kenya, they go there because of miracles. And that raises a question, honestly. And I think that's why I'm saying that when watu walikuwa na comment in the comment section wakisema some people are being brainwashed by Pastor Ezekiel, that's why wanakaa hivyo wakinyeshewa. I believed them. Like, honestly, I believed them because let's say this, hebu tuseme huyu Pastor Ezekiel hajawahi fanya miujiza yote. Like, hajawahi fanya miujiza yote in his sermons or anything. Like, do you really think the same number that walikuwa wamejitokelezea wakinyeshewa, like the same number wangekuwa hapo hivyo wakiomba, oh, Pastor Ezekiel, you need justice for Pastor Ezekiel, like he has done nothing? No, the same number haingekuwa hapo hivyo. That means as much as there are some people in that congregation that really believe in the God that Pastor Ezekiel served, there is still a high percentage of people who are there following the miracles that this Pastor Ezekiel huwa anafanya. And it's so painful. And I don't know what should be done because honestly, Kenya tunapenda miujiza sana. Okay, no, hakuna mwenye pendi miujiza, but I don't know why I find it so hard to trust someone sababu amefanya miujiza. Because I think I was raised in a way whereby I was taught, I was raised in a Christian family, and I was taught that as a young age, I was taught to be so prayerful. Hata kama pengine kwa barabara nilikuja nika lose focus or something, but I was raised knowing that I myself, like I personally, I can kneel down and pray to God, and God answer my prayers. And I think that's something that each and every Christian should know, that pia wewe unaweza jiombea. Pia wewe, you want to heal cancer, and God, you really trust that God can do that for you, and you have faith that God can do that for you, then you don't have to kupanda mbegu sijui, you don't have to kwenda kwa Pastor Ezekiel, you don't have sijui kwenda kwa Pastor Mackenzie, you don't have sijui kwenda, I don't want to mention other names of the pastors, but you don't have to do all those things. Like, you yourself, if you really trust that you are a child of God and God is your daddy, then you don't need any intermediator for you to speak to your daddy. You can kneel down, you can pray to God, and God will answer you, honestly. I think that's something that Christians should know. They know. Christians know that. But when they see someone mwenye anafanya miujiza, it's like their faith inaanza kurudi chini, wanaanza kutrust that person so much. Sababu sahi nikaamua kuanza kanisa hapa hivi neighbor kwangu, and then within 2 Sundays nifanye miujiza kadhaa, like niponye viwete kadhaa. Believe me you, like within some few months nitakuwa na church kubwa sana. But nikiweza kuwa nimeanza the same church, nikuwe tu nahubiria watu like a normal service, telling them what God can do, kama hakuna miracles, like inaweza kaa hata for ages, hata kabla sijapata hata 10 followers. that means that majority of people nowadays, they are following miracles, and that's the truth. Majority of people are following miracles, and it's sad because Christians, we are all children of God. And I think it's high time that we realize that, and we own that. We own the fact that we are the children of God, and we can speak to God directly. We don't have to speak to God through our parents at nilienda nikapatia mamangu pesa ndo aende akapelekea kwa sijui pasi wake, and then they prayed, and then God prophesied, God said something concerning our marriage. Like, no. I think it's high time we learn to know that the fact that we are all children of God. And if I'm a child of God, honestly, I can pray to God directly. I don't have to go through intermediates. Okay, well, it's good. I'm not saying that we don't need servants of God. We actually need them to teach us the ways of God and that. But when it comes to our communication with God, our relationship with God, I think as Christians, it's high time we know that we should have a personal one-on-one relationship with our God. I don't have to, and if I have a one-on-one relationship with my God, it's not necessarily that I have to walk through my pastor so that I can have communication with my God. No. Like, as long as I have a personal relationship with my God, I can speak to God any single time I want. I can speak to God to do something that even I don't need to tell my pastor about. And I think that will be easier. And hiyo itapunguza hata hizo maissues za kina Pastor Mackenzie, honestly, because oh my goodness, after I watched that story of Pastor Mackenzie, I felt like this is crazy. Like, that was the craziest thing I've ever heard of pastors doing. Like, oh my goodness, like, sikuwafikiria like something of sort can happen. And hey, oh my goodness. After I watched that story of Pastor Mackenzie, honestly, like, I had so many questions zenye nilikuwa najiuliza kwa kichwa, and I was like, I have ever tried fasting. Yes, I have ever tried fasting, honestly, and msiniulize kwa nini. And it's one thing I realized about fasting is that fasting, especially vile unajua like I'm fasting, it's very difficult to avoid chakula. Like, kama leo naweza kula, like most of the time nowadays me, I don't even take lunch. Like, nikitoka morning nakujanga jioni nakula my supper, and then that's that, and then the following day I just do the same thing. But when you are fasting, is different from when you are when you are just missing a meal. One thing I came to realize is that fasting is not like a way of maybe trying to slim. Those ways that some ladies wanafanyanga sijui an intermittent fasting. Like, fasting, praying and fasting is not like that, honestly. Praying and fasting comes with kauchungu fulani hapo. When you are trying to fast, it's very difficult to avoid food. And I was telling you, I once tried fasting kitambo. Ati nikasema, I'm trying to fast na nitaenda 1 week. I'm not going to lie to you. Mine hata haikuwa ati dry fasting. Mine hata haikuwa like a complete fasting, because honestly, hiyo nayo ni kama siwezi. So I tried fasting, and honestly, ilikuwa ni wet fasting, where you just drink and you don't eat. I was trying to fast for a whole week, and along the way nikashindwa. Like, within the first day you are okay, within the second day you are like, should I continue, should I still, like, within the second day, and even getting to the third day, honestly, it was like, no, I can't do this. Like, Joyce, like, your body can't do this. Just go cook, find food, eat, kula kabisa. Sababu, there is something that comes with fasting, especially when you are trying to avoid food. Like, your body keeps on reminding you that you need to eat. Like, you need to eat. You are hungry. Your mind and everything in you keep shouting at you, telling you that you need to eat. And nikajiuliza, kwani hawa watu wa Mackenzie wakifast, like, hawakuwa wana feel like their body is depreciating? Were they not feeling that, no, we can die because of this? okay, they were fasting and maybe they were aware that they're going to die, but was there not, hawakuwa na kale ka voice kakujiambia, hey, no, like my hunger penye imenifikisha, no, I can't take it anymore, like I can't take it anymore, like I just have to eat, and I wonder what kind of brainwash was that, because honestly, my goodness, that's I think tunafaa kuuliza Pastor Mackenzie his ways because I think that was the highest way of brainwashing that I think have ever existed. Sababu if someone can anaweza kataa kukula tu, like akatae kukula tu na anajua atakufa, and then aendelee tu kukaa, like mwili nakwambia like you really need to eat, and then you just avoid food completely. I think that's even absurd. And I think it's high time Christians to avoid all those things of being brainwashed, to avoid all these things of following pastors because of the miracles they're doing, following servants of God because maybe they promised you, because after sijui utaponya, sijui utapona cancer, sijui utapata kazi, sijui utaolewa, because those are the things that Christians wanafuatanga most of the time. Ukisikia utafanyiwa kitu fulani na Mungu, then you decide to serve a pastor, like Mungu wa pastor fulani, and in the same process you just found yourself unajipata you've been brainwashed by that pastor. I think it's high time as Christians we learn to speak to God like one-on-one. And I think also it's high time for our pastors and every single person in Kenya who calls themselves servants of God to teach Christians how to speak to God themselves. Like si lazima mimi nikuje nikuombee ndo upone. Like unaweza jiombea pia wewe upone. Si lazima nikuombee sijui ndo ndoa yako isimame. Like unaweza jiombea wewe mwenyewe. Si lazima nikuombee like all those big miracles that you think like the servants of God, these big pastors can do for you. The same thing you can pray to God, and if you have faith in him, and he will do that for you. And I think that's that, guys. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, continue commenting, and until next time, guys, bye bye.